quiet body, I now turn my attention to my mind. I now focus on sitting very, very quiet inside my mind. I allow my thoughts to slow down and move to a slower pace, a gentler pace. I sink deeper into the inner stillness and easily slip into that silent space within me. My heart is also very quiet, but open and expansive. It sits as both my body and mind do, relaxed and free of any holding. It too welcomes this opportunity to return to that expansive, silent space within. With my body, my mind, and my heart both relaxed and open, I listen and imbibe what my Supreme Father says. The Father, who is the truth, only tells you truth. Sweet children, you have come here to realize yourselves. In the Abyact Murli of May the 2nd, 2021, Baba says, Brahmin souls are souls who have incarnated. What do souls who come as incarnations, who are well known as incarnations, come for? They come to bring about elevated transformation. So, what is the duty of you incarnations? to transform the world, to change night into day, to change hell into heaven. You have incarnated to carry out such a big task. That is, you have become Brahmins for this. So always have the awareness that you are incarnations who have come from up above. As Baba's student, as Baba's child, I imagine my incarnation form as a diamond, a pure, translucent diamond, with every corner and every side shining radiantly. I know this is how I am as a soul when I am with Baba in Paramdhan, supreme abode, the incorporeal world, the world of silence and light. I also know this is how I express myself for half the Kalpa. I shine with magnificent, clear, and clean spiritual radiance. And I can feel myself this way as an angel, absorbed in an aura of pure light, which radiates peace, mercy, and love upon the world. But what about in my Brahmin form? How much of my diamond self do I fully realize? Baba told us this morning, sweet children, you have come here to realize yourselves. Now, for the next few minutes, I'm going to focus on one aspect of my diamond self. This aspect has been present with me throughout this whole last birth of the Confluence Age. To do this, I will review my entire life. I relax my mind further and start by traveling back in time to my childhood. In my mind's eye, I travel back to a time when I was a young child, before the age of 10. I see myself clearly, as if up above, looking down at myself. I silently observe myself for a few moments. I watch how I play. I watch how I run, how I delight, how I interact with those around me, how I view the world. I see myself with my family. I see myself learning new things for the very first time. I see my innocence. I see my purity. I see my happiness. And as I watch me as a child, I can see a virtue that is most evident, most obvious to me, in me. This one virtue is so natural in me that it doesn't feel in any way separate from me. It is a natural expression of my child personality. It moved with me in everything I did. I can see this virtue so clearly. I take a moment to see the perfect, complete expression of this virtue in my child self. I can see that this virtue was with me right from the beginning, an integral part of me, which I brought to this birth. Now I see this same virtue move with me as I grow through my childhood, through adolescence, and into my teenage years. I can see that there were situations and circumstances I experienced which caused me to protect, shield, and perhaps even hide this virtue from myself and others at times. And yet, it stayed with me, ever loyal, ever true to me. I scan this period of my life and see my virtue as I grow through my teenage years. My virtue stayed with me as I moved into being a young adult, as I took on more of life as an adult. Again, I watch as a detached observer as I move through my 20s, full of youthfulness curiosity, vitality, full of new beginnings. As life's busyness and distractions took more of a center stage in my life, there may have been times when my virtue receded into quieter corners within my consciousness. And yet again, it stays with me. I take a few moments to watch these scenes, these experiences of my life, to behold my virtue present in me throughout them all. And now, as I travel in my mind's eye through the adult decades of my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, with all the multitude of roles, responsibilities, and relationships I've played, my virtue remains intact. Wah, my virtue, wah. It was during these years that I explored a spiritual path, and by doing so, became better acquainted with my virtue. As I came to know God and develop a truer understanding of myself, this virtue reawakened and shone brighter within. As this virtue reawakened, I discovered and experienced how Baba encouraged this virtue to be expressed more purely, more confidently, more honesty within me. Wah, my fortune, wah. And now I step into the present moment before me and again look at the same virtue, the one that has traveled with me throughout all the chapters of my life in this last birth. My loyal virtue has stepped forward in my consciousness and now occupies more space in my awareness. I can see its energy as I focus exclusively on it. I see the pure beauty of this virtue and how it shines forth from me. I see how it has been a part of my whole life's journey, I see how my precious time with Baba has made it sparkle more abundantly in my awareness. I also see how this virtue and I so intricately and intimately have been connected through time. I understand that I have carried this divine virtue deep within the soul throughout all my lifetimes around the cycle. And just like in this last birth, even though there may have been times when the virtue has slid below the surface of my awareness, it has never slipped away. It has been a constant, moving with me through all my 84 births. I recognize it fully. I claim it as mine. It is such an essential part of my incarnations. I will sit with it in silence, absorbed in its beauty and absorbed in the wonder of its part, traveling through eternity in the sacred spaces of the soul. I hold this virtue in high regard and gratitude for a few moments. And now It's time to leave the corporeal world in my mind. Take my virtue with me as I ascend into my subtle angelic form. Having freed myself from all pulls to matter, all pulls to sanskaras, karma, and any remaining karmic accounts, all forms of attachments and desires, all physical earthly things, I am ready to fly with a soul completely free. As I fly high above the earth and up into the subtle region, my virtue is absorbed into the aura of pure light that is me. The virtue fills me and spreads out through my rays of pure white light. I am the virtue. The light is the virtue. The virtue is the light. It is so clear, so clean, so transparent. The power of the virtue fills the light, and the light beams spread in all directions with no end. My angelic form now turns towards the world, and I shower this virtue, this light, upon all living beings, all of nature, all of matter. Everything and everyone receives the light and power of this virtue. Because this virtue is only pure, its power knows no limitations, no bounds. I shower and shower this virtue light on and on. Its rays fall on the world, all beings and all things receive the light and power of this virtue. All beings and all things receive the light and power of this virtue. Cascading light and power upon the earth. All beings and all things receive the light and power of this virtue. Maintain this angelic state for the next few minutes. And now, in my perfect angelic form, there is nothing left to do but go home. In a split second, I slip away from the subtle regions and fly to the divine light of Baba, my Supreme Father. I experience myself as a complete diamond once again, shining my perfection next to God. We are both perfect. We are in a world of light beyond sound together. We are silent together. We radiate divine light together. Everywhere light. Everywhere silence. We are two shining divine diamonds. I sit in this state of perfection in my original and eternal form, absorbed in God's presence, at home.
so, so hum. Hum 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 so, so hum. As I was, I will become. Hum so, so hum. As I was, I will become.